let me quickly get something out of you before we round off completely, because some people, it's not just even for culture or whatever. It's actually due to the fact that the child has gone off tandem, and also they don't want their kids to end up in jail. Here it's so bad that they look at the way it's going, that it's getting risky, and probably over there they might still get in trouble, but not get, so much severity of the social correction, like jail or whatever. So I think you already answered my question in that. So what would be your last word?
It's fine. I think my own concern for fellow Yoruba youngsters, I will call ourselves
Nigerians too, because
Nigerian. Well, African children.
Yeah, Africans. Yeah, we have to globalize it. Yeah.
Yes, I think for us, this goes for Yoruba particularly, because I see this problem time and time again when we're trying to relate. Our differences should never be a divide. Our view should never divide us on progress.
Right.
We're trying to enlighten ourselves on experiences, regardless of what we believe in. Regardless of our differences, we're still coming together to make this happen. I see in a lot of groups where people have frictions, have clashes, and then break projects down.
Tell me about it.
So I think we need to do better on that front, and I think that is our the next generation is depending on us to be able to do better in that area.
You're talking about people not being able to engage constructively. People that they just attack. They cannot represent their opinion in a way that will benefit. Instead, they just...
Yes, that's partly it. But at the same time, the fact that you're Christian, someone else is Muslim, it shouldn't even be... I mean, I've spoken to a lot of people. I remember a lot of people used to... I've dealt with a lot of people from different parts of Nigeria. I just know they're Nigerian. And we're talking, and then I say, what part of Nigeria are you from? And he said, can you not tell me my name? I said, sorry, we call you Nonso, but I don't know whether I don't know. I've never come across that name before.
That's an Igbo name.
Exactly. And the guy said, how can I said, I'm sorry, I've never come across that name before, so I don't know. I said, but we've been talking for... I said, because where you come from in Nigeria, that didn't really matter.
I get your point. We should be detribalized. Yeah. We should be neutral.
Exactly.
This interview will not be complete if I do not ask this question. We are talking about it has to do with the mission of this channel, which is, as an independent commentator, my personal vision and goal is to add value in all my callings, especially also to learn, to grow, and to live better in this complex and dynamic, rapidly changing world. Nigeria in the global space, the way we are training our children, our tendencies, and how do we plug in, how do we fit in? Are we even at all? Have we woken up from sleep? Where are we at? What are your opinions on that? And then we round off.
Yeah, we are in a slumber. The same way we are at home.
Say that again.
We are in a slumber.
Ooh.
The same way we are at home, we are
Can
abroad.
You say Nigeria is...
Nigerians individually abroad, we are in a slumber.
Over at home. What about at home?
Well, same as
the country, as a country.
As a country as well.
Okay, continue.
Yeah. So where I'm going to from in diaspora is we individually we create success where it's hard to even define success, but collectively we score 0 in everything we do collectively.
That's hard, man.
That's my view, that we, except if it comes to partying, that we want to celebrate first Independence Day, for example, and we put money together and create an Independence Day party, then we're good at that. But when it comes to coming together to support one another and progress abroad, we don't do that. We cannot do that. It's not cultural for us to do that. And we've not sat down and understood that to say, right, we need to do better in this space. Let's adapt some culture that isn't ours to actually do better. People come through. There's no, well, hardly would you find Nigerian businesses that was supported by Nigerians that have very little to do with that person in terms of personal personal relationship. We don't have that concept of political, economical power and political power. You don't see us in political sphere much. Obviously, Kemi Badenoch was, but again, we know we didn't put Kemi Badenoch there. She wasn't, I mean, she's married to a non-Nigerian. So she basically worked herself and she wanted to. So it wasn't a support of. Whereas, if you look at Rishi Sunak, it's a different story. He became an MP and he will have got some support of his community and the community. Even though we go to church every Sunday, we can come out of church and start boxing one another. We don't really, I think we go to church to basically sensitize us for one thing or the other. So we don't do well, and that needs to change. We are still in that slumber that we don't believe. We believe that the definition of success is individual, how well I've done in my life. But again, how do you want people to see your race, your people? You need to come together and show that. Don't talk it. You need to show it.
Yeah, action speaks louder.
Yes.
Because I know we should be rounding off, but let us do this. Recently, Trump came up with a lot of presidential orders. There are so many policies he came up with. And apart from the she-him thing, all this gender thing, no more him, she, no more she-him, no more him, shim, and all those kind of, tendencies. The immigration policies are so strong. And this is the season Nigerians are jeopardizing. And, I actually addressed in one of my podcasts the issue of the gender thing. I think I'm in my future edition. I
saw that, yes.
Immigration impact. One guy came to YouTube. I don't know where he recorded, maybe any of this social media. Let me say social media. And that guy, he drove home the point. He said that they have all these socio-cultural associations, Igbo this, Yoruba that, Benin this, that you see them like Owambe thing, that
of course, yes,
partying and all those kind of things. But he now started mentioning some other people who are, galvanizing efforts to make sure that they come to the support, to the defense of their people. They just can't come through for their people. Now that our own, that he has not heard of any Nigerian, socio-cultural organization that is coming, like the protection, because not everybody has, is documented the way it should be. And with this kind of something, and the government, the US, this thing is going all out against immigrants, that only thing where we see Nigerian people for now to just they do all this. So I want you to take it from that angle, and I think it aligns with what we are saying. In UK, you just come online, you see somebody fighting somebody. Go and look at all the social media channels. The channels, this are one kind of channel now. Well, you see how many people we watch, but you see on thousands, hundreds of thousands of views on some things. Be like, will this develop our society or whatever? So, based on what that guy said, I saw a point in it that people don't, what is the value in those socio-political organizations, socio-cultural, because somebody dies, they'll send the body home, they come around here to do social events. I want you to take it from that angle. I think that question is a long one. Yeah.
Yes, I think you've hit the nail in the head that we are known for parties. We like to show off. We are still very immature emotionally. We're still at that level. We're vibrating at a very low level when it comes to maturity. How we've created success for ourselves, and we like everybody else to see us as that successful individual, as opposed to
showing off,
toning it down and pulling along a lot of your own people you feel
even the most educated, especially in America, but we are not the richest.
No, we can't be, because if you look at, there are so many groups. There was one time I decided that, okay, I think I'm going to have to start going to synagogues, because I think that way we meet the right people. Meet the right people, and then start coming up with good business idea that we can use to move our community forward. Because I realized that me going to church in those days was just pointless. Like, it's a basis for nothing. Just because you share the same
So
faith.
does this finish your thoughts? Finish your thoughts.
Just because you share the same faith and you go to the familiarity is there, it doesn't mean we're going to sit down and say, right, how do we move our people forward and genuinely try to do that? We don't.
Does it happen in UK too? Because here in US,
yes.
In fact, Nigeria they carry last. Oh, in fact, even being uninvited. Sorry to those people who are, I don't know, who are in Houston or wherever, Houston, Dallas, and many parts, Indiana, Michigan, all over, where we have our people, especially this part that I mentioned.
Yeah.
Even if you are not invited, people have their ear to the ground. They will get one party or the other. People say they work hard, so they party hard.
Of course.
Would that be your closing point? Is it also a UK thing that, look, people know they miss out. They are very big on these social things.
Very. I wouldn't want to use my own own view because I'm not a party person. Even
just like me.
Yeah, the best you get me to do is a little gathering at home for my birthday party. If you want to go ahead and do yours and hire a massive mansion, I will come. I will come along and enjoy it. And when time comes, when it's too loud for me or whatever, I will make my quiet exit and go back to my a program at home. Yeah, so I feel yes, people try to overcompensate again for where they are. That we're in a cold, we're in a place where we can't do what we want. But so that means when we get the opportunity, we should use it well by partying a lot. Things are bad now to the point where in London, criminals target Nigerian parties.
Excuse me.
Criminals target Nigerian parties.
Target Nigerian parties. Why?
I mean, you see people that have got Rolex, all these expensive watches, expensive jewelries, and then there was an incident, very horrible incident that happened. They actually followed a man home and then robbed him of his possessions, and then they killed him. And then they realized that the Rolex he had on was a fake Rolex.
So he died faking it.
I think he probably struggled a little bit with them and they killed him.
So he died faking it because they say fake it till you make it. So
it was sad.
It was very sad. Something, but it cost him his life. Yeah,
it's sad that we are now at that point. But again, this goes back to values. What kind of value are we? Should we not be looking at a place where, I mean, this is how I'm going to round this up. My view for the world is, for me, for myself, is my children should not grow up to start looking for work when they get to the age and have no offer that, well, you've got a fallback option here, that if you want to do this, I'm happy for you to take it forward. So that's enough. That's part of a legacy I want to leave.
Wow.
In being this abroad that we've talked about. We've done all this work. So we don't want them to then get into the rat race again and do the same thing all over again. It's a waste. We leave zero legacy if we do that. The only thing we can leave for them is to have an option.
Wow.
Imagine if when you got to the US, you had an option that, okay, my great-grandfather said there was a work somewhere. I have that option, but I'm not going to use that. I want to make it by myself. At least you have that option. The way you will walk will be different.
Absolutely.
You will walk that soil.
I will fall back to the position.
Yes. So I think that's the best thing to view, but we cannot do that alone. We can't do that single-handedly. If we look at all the large corporations, they come together as a small venture, and then it evolved into so many different things.
Right.
We cannot be slaves to these things. We cannot be slaves to these institutions forever. We have to then wake up and move out of that slavery mentality, scarcity mentality, that, oh, this thing is going to go away. It's going to go away. So I better squirrel all of it and start showing that I have some by buying Rolex, buying big car, and then just to show that I'm there now, guys. So respect me.
To intimidate others. All right. So much about Nigeria in the abroad. I see you are loaded. I'm happy. Thank you for honoring our invitation and coming to do this with us. Our time flies.
Thank you very much.
Like we can unpack it in one edition. So on behalf of our viewers, I'm asking that we will need to bring you back. so I can put you on the spot. So if we have to ask you to come back soon, will you oblige us? Will you?
Absolutely, absolutely. It's my pleasure, and I'm always anything to help contribute a little quota into our society and community. I'm always happy to do that. So anytime, I'll definitely be happy to do so. Thank you.
Thank you very much, sir. Appreciate your time, and say goodbye to our viewers.
Thank you very much, viewers, and have a pleasant evening.
Thank you very much.
Until next time, thank you.
Guys, there you have it. That's Mr. Ademola Dayo. You still go by that? That's
yes,
your last name.
Yes,
so
yes.
He's been in UK for over 30 years. He was born in the UK probably like 5 decades ago, and he has been able to share with us from his wealth of experience. And he promised that he will still touch base with us. He will circle back with us when we need to bring him up, because it's loaded and the time is just not. We are not in. We just have to keep it this way this time. So till the next time that I see you, am I faking my accent?
No, you're fine.
So the next time that let me talk, not like in the abroad now. So the next time, somehow this accent thing, sometimes you find yourself middle, somehow unconsciously, because when you communicate, especially at workplace and everything, and when you come to our people, the way it's psychological. Okay, so our people, we'll see you on the next one. Thank you for joining, and please share this video, press the like button, press the subscribe button, and press the notification bell, so that when next we come with a new episode, you will be the first to get it. Thank you very much. And thank you, Mr. Ade, for doing this.
Thank you very much. Take care.
Till we see you again. Bye. Bye-bye.